Hey everyone, today we are going to solve the LeetCode question gas station. Okay, first of all, let's see very simple cases. So gas is 3, 4 and the cost is 1, 2. So in this case, at index 0, so we will get 3 gas. And we use 1 gas, right? So cost is 1. So remaining gas should be 2. So we can move to index 1, right? So at index 1, we will get 4 gas, and we have 2 gas from index 0. So total should be 6 gas. And we use 2 gas. So remaining gas should be 4. And then move back to index 0. So we travel around the circuit once in the clockwise direction. So that's why in this case, we should return index 0. Easy, right? And let me change the cost. So let's say 5, 2. And let's check from index 1. No, not index 1, index 0. And we get 3 gas. And we use 5 gas. So we are short of gas, right? So we can't move to index 1. So in this case, instead of index 0, try to start from index 1. So at index 1, so we get 4 gas. And we use 2 gas, right? So remaining gas should be 2. So we start from index 1, so that's why we move clockwise and move back to index 0. So let me write down here. Index 0. So we get 3 gas, and we have 2 gas from index 1. So total should be 5, right? Gas is 5. And we use 5 gas to move to next place. So cost is 5. So remaining gas is 0. And then we come back to index 1. So we travel around the circuit once in the clockwise direction. So in this case, we should return index 1. So index 1 is starting point, right? Okay, next, let's see -1 case. So that means false case. So gas is 3, 4, and the cost is 1, 7. So let's start from index 0. So at index 0, so we get 3 gas, and we use 1 gas. So remaining gas should be 2, right? So we can move to index 1. So at index 1, so we will get 4 gas. So total should be 4 plus 2, right? And gas should be 6. And we use 7 gas to move to next place. So cost is 7. So we are short of gas. So that's why we can't start from index 0. So try to move starting point to index 1. So let's see one by one. So at index 1, so we will get 4 gas. And we use 7 gas to move to next place. So we are short of gas, right? So in that case, so we can't start all places. So that's why in this case, we should return -1. And then next, let's change -1 case to true case. So let's say we change 3 gas to 4 gas. And then let's see one by one. So we start from index 0. So let me write down here. And at index 0, so we will get 4 gas. And we use 1 gas. Remaining gas should be 3. So we can move to index 1. So at index 1, we will get 4 gas. So total should be 3 plus 4 and 7, right? And we use 7 gas to move to next place. Remaining gas is 0. And then we move back to index 0. So that's why we can travel around like a clockwise direction. So that's why we should return index 0. So index 0 is a starting point in this case. Okay, let me summarize key point. The key point in solving this problem is that if total amount of gas is greater than or equal to cost, then even if gas runs out midway, starting from a different location will allow a full circuit. So do you remember? So first case is gas is like 3 and 4, and cost is 1, 2. So total gas should be 7, and the total cost is 3. So in this case, definitely we can go around like a circuit in a clockwise direction. And look at the second sentence. Then even gas runs out midway, starting from a different location will allow a full circuit. So this is a second case. So do you remember? So we have like a 3 and 4 gas, and the cost is like a 5, 2. So this is a second case. So in this case, we can't start from index 0, right? Because our gas is 3 and the cost is 5. So that's why we try to start from index 1 instead of index 0. So in this case, so gas is 4 and the cost is 2, and the remaining gas is 2. So that's why we can move to index 0. And so even if the gas is short at index 0, we have extra gas from index 1, right? So that is 2 gas. So in this case, so even if gas is short, like gas is 3 and the cost is 5, so that is minus 2, right? But we have extra 2 gas, so that's why remaining gas is 0. So that's why in this case, we should return index 1 as a starting point. Thus, by selecting a starting point where gas does not run out in the end, we can determine the answer. So let's see a more example. Okay, let's see this example. Gas is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the cost is 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. So first of all, check total gas versus total cost. Total gas is 15, and the total cost also 15. So that means we can definitely travel around the circuit. Once we know that there is a solution, so this problem is not difficult since the solution is guaranteed to be unique. The main logic is to move starting point to the current index plus 1 whenever the gas falls below 0. So we will start from index 0, and this is a current gas, start with 0 gas. And this is a starting point, also start from index 0. So first of all, we get 1 gas, so current gas is 1. But to move to next index, we have to subtract cost from current gas. So current gas minus cost. So current gas is now 1, and the current cost is 3. So that is minus 2, right? So we are short of gas. So we can't move to index 1 from index 0. So we should move starting point to index 1. So we should update start variable with current plus 1. So 0 plus 1 is 1, right? And don't forget to reset current gas to 0. Because when we move the starting point, so that is a new start. So we can't start from index 0. So that's why starting from 1 is like a kind of new start. So move next. Basically, we will repeat the same process. So first of all, we get 2 gas. And to move to next index, we subtract cost from current gas. So current gas is 2, and cost is 4. So that is minus 2, right? So we are short of gas. So we can't move to index 2 from index 1. So that's why update starting point to index 2. And reset current gas to 0. So this is a new start. And then move next. So first of all, we get 3 gas. And we have to subtract cost, right? So current gas is 3, and then minus current cost is 5. So that is minus 2. So we can't move to index 3 from index 2. So that's why starting point should be 3, current index plus 1, and then reset current gas to 0. And then move next. Now we get 4 gas. and cost is 1. So current gas is 4, and cost is 1. So that is 3, right? So remaining 3 gas. So we can move to next index, right? So that's why we don't update starting point. So move next. And we find 5 gas. And we have 3 gas. So that's why total should be 3 plus 5 and 8. And then we need 2 costs to move to next index. So 8 minus 2 is 6. We have 6 remaining gas. So and that's why we can move to, in this case, index 0, right? So that's why we don't update starting point. But we finish iteration. And actually, all we have to do is just return current starting point. That is index 3. So let's check. So let's think about the last 2 index. So we start from index 3. And when we reach the end of index, not the end of array, so we have 6 remaining gas, right? And then move back to index 0. So in this case, look at the first 3 index. So everything is like a negative number, right? So that means we are short of gas, minus 2, minus 2, minus 2. So, but from last 2 index, we will get 6 remaining gas. So we can use 6 gas for the first 3 index. And look at the minus. So minus 2, minus 2, minus 2. So that's why we need extra 6 gas. And actually, we have extra 6 gas from last 2 index. So that's why we can travel around the circuit, right? That's because we know that total gas is equal to total cost in this case, like a 15 versus 15. So that means we can travel around the circuit once in the clockwise direction with 6 gas when we go back to index 0. So even if we are short of gas between like index 0 to index 2, we can use plus 6 gas between index 0 and index 2. So that's why we can travel around like a clockwise and come back to index 3 in this case. That is a basic idea to solve this question, so let's jump into the code. Okay, let's write the code. First of all, if sum of gas is less than sum of cost, in the case, we should return -1 immediately. If not the case, we are sure we can go around like a circuit. So create a current gas with 0 and a starting point with index 0. And let's iterate through 1 by 1 from index 0. So I in range and the length of gas. And first of all, current gas plus equal gas and the current index. So we combine gas and cost. So minus cost and I. And if current gas is less than 0, in that case, so reset current gas with 0 and move starting point to next index. So start point should be I plus 1. And then in the end, we should return starting point. Yeah, so let me submit it. Yeah, looks good. And the time complexity of this solution should be order of n, where n is a number of gas or cost. And the space complexity is, I think, O1. We don't use the extra data structure. But more precisely, so time complexity of this solution should be like a 3n, because we use sum function twice and iterate through 1 by 1 here. So let's improve this code with like a real order of n. Okay, let's write the code. So we will find the starting point at first, then at last we check total gas is greater than or equal to total cost. So in the first solution, we check total gas versus total cost at first, then try to find a starting point. So it's kind of an opposite order of algorithm. But if you understand like a first solution, so it's not difficult to understand this algorithm. So let's write the code. So start equals 0, and total gas is 0, and current gas equals 0. And then let's iterate through one by one from index 0. So for I in range, and the length of gas. And let's say fuel gain equal gas and the current index minus cost current index. And then add fuel gain to total gas and the current gas. So total gas plus equal fuel gain, and current gas plus equal fuel gain. And then if current gas is less than 0, so that means we are short of gas. So reset current gas equals 0, and the starting point should be current index plus 1. And then at last, return -1 if total gas is less than 0. Else, starting point. Yeah, so let me submit it. Yeah, looks good. And the time complexity and the space complexity are the same as solution 1. Time is O(n) and the space is O1. Yeah, so that's all I have for you today. Please support me with the actions such as comment and hitting like button. I'll see you in the next question.